moving on. You're moving on now. Let's say some a bit to just see an part to say there's this report at EBA. I just say concerned importers of Ghana.
Okay.
And then they started crying foul say Sisi anomo per dollar to omunya. So this basically is hitting the Minister of Finance at the force because just yesterday I think say Mary Fisa honorable MPP honorable or per se a friend is saying Mary Finidi a popular pa or Tai Shi Germany at the meeting for Mufandi and share comment. Yesterday after the Minister of Finance presented the media budget review, no Obeka say he went to the bank to get dollar or course or banks or copper dollars so almost rating here 10.30 you said then okay give me the dollars almost so many or forest brew so on one man different rates at 12 cedis.
I think $13 point something.
So he had to go to the black market.
Okay.
Nipa make an a striker.
Okay.
Striker and make an MPP striker or MP. And I'll say okay, I call bank, I call forest. Meanwhile, obviously 10 cities, 30%. No, obviously
12 cities.
13 to 12 cities. So all these places, bank and then forest brew. So he had to go to the black market, and at the black market between 13 cities to 14 cities. No can say what is really going on.
Yeah.
Because my rates are different. It doesn't reflect. Now IMF SO and in Zambia Babe said Ghana no ekamia say the governor no and the people up in there they are trying to manipulate the currency, trying to make the city seem strong. But in reality, Bloomberg so Ababe Kasa 3 days ago Fitch so in Zambia Tuja. And today the importers union of Ghana almost in Zambia Ababe Minya info into screen is every day and I watch
Sure. So this is a press release that is from the concerned importers of Ghana. Difficulty in getting US dollars to buy at banks and its negative impact on business. We write to bring to the attention of the government difficulties importers face in our attempt to secure US dollars for our businesses. And until go for mokasa ewa ha say, ya maamen mi papa nom ni ye nuanom adwadifo a omoto niama efri ana omokra niama free abrochimemu edeba no mpempi no ya na omudi saja ya enye ye sika no no omudi di saja no omudi US dollars no na eta edi saja no na ya eseso omokoto no omuso mutumi edi koto mu niama na nse no omatro de abase omokwa senia me brother di kan echeche mu no omokwa ya omunya bi enu nti aye asodie kese de ato omoso a enu nti no omode sa letter yi abano. But as businessmen who import goods from abroad, our main trading currency is the US dollars, which we buy from home for our external transaction. And in the papa muno, and no de phobia wo baby now kodi jaw nim se ube kreska efifie ediako. And in the papa man kese se omo US dollars no waha. Na afedi omo de akodi omo dwane se ne sese ne fata. And the city's recent stability against the US dollars came as good news to importers and traders for obvious reason. Nancy Yakoba say, Ghana city no enya hoden dollars na eba form no and Emma omani beji ebeye atadwe omati den e wo masum enunti no mo ka say ne papa mo anu no. But almost, however, just as we began to reveal in the stability, we are now confronted with another challenge of struggling to buy US dollars from the bank.
Okay.
And unti as I saw mokoto US dollars, no monso omo de akodi omoja. Nanso nan saying bank bi omobeko bia no mbeko bia no omunya US dollars be ento eba ne sen. For some days now, our members have been left in a limbo as many of the banks claim they don't have US dollars, a development which has compelled importers to resort to the black market for dollars at exorbitant rates. And in the Bank of Ghana, rate or the bar for currencies different. Now, almost course almost at that particular reason. It's not say being hontino. Any Ubeka Jen is any kohase na ko be say be wahanum, a koebi will be wo the year dinechi, a honor so mobacono, now rates no ya increase. And this idea and says, came and called $2 for 10 CDs, or Bacona say 15 CDs. Just imagine, Obi our import ya free, you find they say US and not China no. They don't import in smaller quantities. Omutonia money boom, it is a 5 CD increase in poa. Now multiplied by you find a million Ghana cedis. I see kapudo bebre and no more complaining no. I say on paper the cedi is supposed to have stabilized. And and the dollar is supposed to be sold to us at 10.3 cedis. 10.3 cedis. However, what is on paper is not the reality confronting us. And it's almost the ayatro paper so I can radio so $1 number from city now costro and the omu size and say omo form no munim and omujano omuti omuja no munim and omuja necessary omosifa. The banks are not selling and our members have had to resort to the black forex market to buy dollars as high as over 13 cedis. Over. Nature say 13 cedis, ebi mo munya no 14, ebi so munya no 15, ebi on say ekọ no soro anu. Na bibi o honum na say ne bo no ana say eye scarce. Nature say obi wo bi ana ono per se or creating monopoly be no increase. That is what is happening on the black market for them. This situation is not business friendly and not fair to us and the general public. On say if this is not checked to ensure the banks sell dollars to importers at the approved rate, prices of goods will continue to go up. And until sans we see say yan check rates na almost kono enye bi antwa eni kofa niama ne ba betuma and say sa na beba no. Now we cannot understand why it is difficult to get dollars from the bank at approved rates when the Bank of Ghana has been giving assurances. And in the Bank of Ghana, they be mobile ever can mamun to idea black market, mama mumba bank, and then so almost do bank honoma. And by this statement, we want to appeal to the government and the Bank of Ghana to let what they announce on paper be the reality. I don't almost see a Bank of Ghana for a mother almost Ramon so de wakana munti omwe. At the Sadian or Modeba monim, Sesana Moka were radio, so Moka TV, so Nana Mumfamem say, a be wohono, a buying on so they are calling on you. Tell Momo Dana, Monfa dollars, maybe Embra. Was our rate now more can no munye be ento. How can the Bank of Ghana announce something like this and then the reality is different from the ground? And it's a very disturbing and concerning issue. We will be would with dollars. You would understand the sentiment these people are sharing, because whatever that is happening, it is not going to only affect them, but in the long run, it will affect the ordinary Ghanaian, because say omoko no man konyan rate no send ye fata e bank ho no omoko koto wo baby nkwanchi baby na ye de bom trima omo so omoko dija no na so omo de ade ne ba enke bi ankomba tumi ateso no omo nteso esan say sika na omo de koto ye na no na e wo soro enu nti omo nso mbe increase ni ama na ma tememufo na omo ba feel heat no. So this is a very good appeal. I may assure say it will go to the right authorities and then the right quarters. Now, whatever they ought to do to ensure say they work on this, no.
So, Miniaba, thank you so much for Incheche Muna or the buy, so now clearly, from what is really happening, it all boils down to so. My thing is, I didn't know. See, just make the dollar 14 cedis and be free. Many about first so quite more wow, ubenya dollar. Obi I don't forget me share no $1 chop. You see a dollar as a cooking. I didn't know you.
Any neck propaganda no.
I say because I didn't know change now per se and what setting. Just make it 14 cedi. I say make it 14 cedi. 14 cedi okay.
Also, you see, I know almost the bomb horse for henny. You see,
how long?
You see, forcing is forcing.
You
forcing is forcing. And so what the bomb horse for henny?
Again, you hunda. Again, na MPP for anye. Do something a be sustainable. What you say? Because Ghana for yenkophobia. We are not going to mean we are. Because the question is, can they? How long? MPP, MPB, can be. Or say for how long will this? Oh, sorry. So really, second part of the screenshot. Yeah, found to squeeze, but this is the second part.
Oh, okay.
But MPP, but how is not a press release? No, what way you so?
No, I
okay,
didn't have it. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's a part now. Second part never has seen. Mami for say, however, just as we began to reveal in the stability, we are now confronted with another challenge, struggling to buy US dollars from the banks. For some days now, our members have been left in a limbo, as many of the banks claim they don't have US dollars. A development which has compelled importers to resort to the black market for dollars at exorbitant rates. On paper, the cedi is supposed to have stabilized, and the dollar is supposed to be sold to us at 10 cedi, 3 cedis, 10 cedis, 3 pesos. However, what is on paper is not the reality confronting as the banks are not selling, and our members have had to resort to the black forest market to buy dollar as high as over 13. I think I read this part. The situation is not business friendly and not fair to us and the general population. If this is not checked to ensure the banks sell dollars to importers at approved rate, price of goods will continue to go up. We cannot understand. Why it is difficult to get dollars from the banks at approved rates when the Bank of Ghana has been giving assurances, and by this statement, we want to appeal to the government, the Bank of Ghana, to let us to let what they announce on paper be the reality. How can the Bank of Ghana announce 10 cedi, 3 pesos to $1, and banks won't make dollar available because they don't believe in the rate?
Oh, it's a good question.
Yeah. The disparity between Bank of Ghana's BOG's rate and reality in the forex market is too wide and concerning. If the cedi has really stabilized as it's been portrayed, then the Bank of Ghana should compel the banks to have confidence in the rate and sell the dollars at the same rates to traders. The present situation where BOG only announces the forex rate without banks selling dollars is deeply worrying, and this was signed by Robert Tete Norte. He's the convener, and I'll share Francis Oti Boatin, or also a secretary. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. So
on paper, need the you bet sure, but in reality, it is different.
And na ama omonso omo ato jese jeje mo a omo hu ne omo yesan say e be affect omo businesses no na enye omo kwa na be affect, as I mentioned earlier. No,
it's going to spiral and affect the general goods of services. Yeah.
And prices also be shoot yako high. Na say because the city is gaining strength, that should not have been the reality. And until if there's anything they can do about it, I think they have to do it and do it now.
Anyway, so we are just hoping, and I share the Bank of Ghana. I think, say, you see, and I make because we kasa me dollars, and I'm saying believing in Bank of Ghana rates. Okay, now I'm saying me turn 13 cedis, and I say me turn 30 me. No problem, me them. So it is really going to make, or rather going to make the dollar more scarce, and when the dollar becomes scarce, automatically the value goes up. I remember a typical example. Watch here that he.
Okay.
Ibia, the whole Ghana far with the watch. Okay, nose mask.
Yeah.
A bar first, okay. Nose mask bar first. Nobody didn't know white to me see.
Yeah.
And that's a bare fashion. Yet what you wanna? Obiko TV soon at DBI say plain rubber units and
facial.
Because I had to do a call. And when you catch him say, see, a call asa. Jomu crave for China.
Wow.
Me fresh because a very fashion. No, call bank. And I say it comes with a spectacle. It's nothing now. Ube ya now who a nice like a Maui guy in the coronavirus era. And they jam me, and I think because was like 10 cedis or 2. And then also, You so thought me wrong. No way you sue. That was the beginning and we buy.
Yeah.
Now, if you say,
but you know, before then, I was more than 50 cedis.
No, the beginning now, not price no form, but demand the course, and the shooting.
Okay.
And I'm the yes, I'm fat on demand the course, and the shooting. If you pay beer, a sound system, and I'll be creative China, but I bet check into be 10 cedis, or 20, or some metal, 30 metal, 40 metal, or some in tone view. Add 50 cedis, still metal. Charlie, no problem. Far from that, no. A ban is saying for 250 cedis and cool. Now, for home, I call a year Alibaba, a yes, our China for website. In the container,
buy,
after yes, I know smart see. Whoa, near felt, bro. But I know for also per shield nibino. A biaba, why?
A biaba.
Nay, oh, he said the artist why 15 cedis pet. Yo. Then Uberco status will be advertised the same thing. Or say 5 cedis.
5 cedis at a lesser price.
Miss Equoya man call temp. After no check for I just Equoya for 1 cedi. Now the man the market need a boo cry and say doctors will be tenacity sad no it doesn't protect
safe,
you.
Yeah, it's not safer, yeah.
There's academy. So clearly you could see say with the face mask no because the demand was so high. When you find the demand and supply, demand was so high relative to the supply, Now it is Obi can increase the price, increase and increase and increase.
Exorbitantly.
Exactly. Baby is scarce, and na competition Obi say so.
A common, no. And I feel they just say, yeah, reduce the price, no. So right now, what is happening is people are hoarding the dollars. They are hoarding it.
I also hoarding because. Also because they don't have faith, even if the banks don't have faith in a local currency.
How much?
Now, it's they will have to hoard it. They will have to hoard it. Now, talking about that, this particular hoarding,